Do you ever find yourself justifying your existence? Because I've discovered that I have this habit, this mannerism. It's a way of using language in which I'm constantly explaining myself, not just what I'm saying or what I'm doing, but I'm explaining why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and I'm checking in excessively if it's okay or not. So it's a question of, am I over justifying myself? So the reason this is interesting for me to dig a bit deeper into is I realized that if I question why do I do that, whom I do it with, when does it happen more, the over exaggeration of my reason, purpose, or even existence comes out more specifically when I'm with my boyfriend and my siblings. Now, I looked into why is it that I have that habit? Why do I have that mannerism, that behavior? And it's because I love those two sets of people so much, my boyfriend and my siblings, and I respect them both so highly that I want to prove my worth to them. Now, at no point does anyone in that group of people ever really ask for me to do that. But because I respect them so highly, but I at times think less of my own grounding, my own sense of self, it brings me to then feel like I have to over justify with words and specific phrases and sentences how I showed up at a certain time, or why I showed up, or what I'm showing up with. So, for example, I might use the word just or only quite frequently, when it's not necessary. So I might turn up with a statement, deliver it, and then say, only if you are okay with that, only if it works for you, or, only under these certain conditions does that statement work. It's like I'm qualifying what I just said. And I say the word just a lot. So I say, I'm doing this just because if I don't, this might happen, or just because it will help you if I do that. So I'm constantly explaining why I'm doing things, why I'm taking actions, because I realize it's that I'm not sure within myself that I'm showing up with enough authority, whereas my siblings and my boyfriend all happen to have this kind of air about themselves where they're a lot more certain with their decisions. So what that does is where I'm over justifying my existence, my reason, my purpose in any particular arena, it makes me then doubt myself more. And there's a really easy tweak for that. So there's a really small step I can apply, which is to try to step more into a space of being accepting of however I'm showing up, whether I think it's right, wrong, any use or any value to anyone, and being accepting of also the response that I get back so that I can show up more comfortably and get used to hearing my own voice and believing my value more naturally, regardless of what response comes back. If that's something you find yourself doing, sort of over justifying your reasons, your desires, your preferences, it might be worth you looking into the same thing. Where do you do that most? Who do you do it with? What specifically brings it out? When does it happen most? And how can you maybe change your language slightly to be just as curious and kind and gentle, but without putting yourself down in the process?